Did you have a good week since I last saw you? You were busy bee.
That's where I should go.
Right.
Yeah, Wednesday I left from here, went straight to LAX.
It's amazing how you do that.
Well, I mean, it makes a lot of sense. I'd rather fly late, get in somewhere and wake up there the next day than fly there and waste half of like that free day traveling.
Okay, I'd just rather never travel again.
Okay, well, listen to this, because I've been randomly having panic attacks on planes out of the claustrophobia and fear of heights, which I've never had in my life. So I've been working on some very natural ways to combat that.
Yeah.
Like taking medication.
Yes.
That's a prescription. That hasn't been working either. But then I saw this TikTok of this girl who's a pilot, and she was explaining. She held up a cup of Jell-O. A red cup of Jell-O. The color doesn't matter. It's the best flavor, though. And she took a little piece of a tissue, like tissue paper that you blow your nose in, ripped it off, and said, pretend that this Jell-O is the air that you're flying through, and this is the tissue paper. She pokes the tissue paper down halfway through, and she's like, this is the plane. She starts shaking the Jell-O. That's like turbulence, because there's pressure on top of the plane, there's pressure below. You're not gonna. There's never been a plane crash from turbulence.
Right. It's either when you're taking off or landing.
Yeah. So she's shaking it, and she's like, when you are feeling like, oh, the wing's gonna fall off, it's just not.
It's not. I used to take, before I would get panic attacks, I used to take 2 edibles on the plane that would last me the 6 hours of LA to Philly and vice versa. And there was one time I was so high that I was like dead asleep, and then there was turbulence, and I woke up and I just screamed, oh my God, like so loudly that like the back of the plane could hear me, and everyone was like, what's wrong? And I couldn't even answer, and then I stopped taking the edibles.
Can I go progressively through my weekend really quick? I think that people are going to enjoy this story, although it is 100% about me.
Yeah, no, please. And this is a perfect opportunity for me to just listen and knit my heart out.
But I'd love if you chime in here and there for details, because I'm gonna mess some stuff.
Okay. What's hard is I can't hold the microphone and knit, so it's gonna be a learning. It's gonna be a learning curve.
Well, okay. Well, whenever you feel.
Yep.
Okay.
You take it away.
Okay. So Wednesday I leave here from the podcast. I go straight to the airport. Seamless. I flew into Jersey. This whole trip was built around this show that I got invited to from my buddy Jake. He invited me to a Jack Johnson concert. We go to a happy hour before this show, and we're sitting there, and we're having a beer, and we're all dressed up. It was just me and Jake that were going to this show, and we're going to meet our friends later on that night. And we're sitting kind of having a beer, and these kids come up, and they're like, I don't know if this is just a Texas thing, but the Under Armour kids that are like wearing the stretchy Under Armour clothes with like the Nike socks and like the big Nike Shocks. There's like 4 of them, and they're just like typical kids. They walk up and they see me and they go, oh my God, Archer, it's the kid from TikTok. It's the TikTok guy. And I'm like, oh my God, like why are 12-year-olds watching my videos? I'm like, talking, I'm making jokes about and like, so anyways, we're sitting there and these kids and the mom's like, I'm sorry. And I'm like, no, it's seriously no big deal. I've never had like 12-year-olds watch my videos. They honestly shouldn't be. I'm like, do you guys want a picture or whatever? And they're like, yeah, please. And so I go get in, and the mom is like, can I get in the photo? And I'm like, yeah, totally. And so arm around mom, arm around Archer, the kid. And then I kind of like step back, and the kids are just talking amongst themselves, and the mom's doing whatever. And the table next to us at happy hour goes, by the way, do you know who that is? Like the mom? And I go, no, that's Amy Poehler.
Now, how did you not know who that was immediately?
She looked like a mom. She looked like every mom. She's in a jean jacket and glasses, hair up, like just typical mom taking her kids out. Then I look over and I'm like, are you? And she's like, Amy, yes. And she was like, also, I know who you are. You're, like, I like your stuff. Like, you're funny. And I'm just like, I tell you, I've never been starstruck, but I've been very outspoken about Amy Poehler on other podcasts. I went on the Friday Beers podcast. They said favorite like comedians, and I said Amy Poehler is like my number one every time. It just like comes out. It's like a guttural thing. And I just want to remind everybody last week when we were saying that we manifest things in here, blah, 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 whatever. It's fake. But remember when I looked in the camera and I said SNL, SNL, SNL? And then Amy Poehler and her children via Will Arnett approached me on the street. Oh, my God. I could die. Like, literally, I was sitting there. I called Brooke. I'm like, I don't get like that ever. I'm shaking. Everyone on the street knew it was Amy Poehler except me.
It's very hard to be happy for someone when you yourself want the exact same thing, but just know that I am as happy for you as I possibly could be.
I'm just like,
truly,
everyone know, like, anytime I need like a hit of a metaphorical vape pen, I'm gonna just think about the moment Amy Poehler was like, "I like your stuff,
and then
I know who you are."
The best part, I was looking through Dumois.
I don't want to talk about that.
Well, I'm gonna.
This is
okay, or you're gonna. Yeah.
This was the most life-altering part of the whole thing. Said I'm sharing this very private experience. By the way, when she asked to get in the photo, the kid was taking the photo. I don't have the photo. Like, I don't even have it.
We have one that's good enough.
We have one photo that was taken in West Village in New York by by a bystander from across the street.
No, you have the other one.
Well,
that's
yeah,
really good.
The photo taken of the photo being taken. I didn't know about this additional piece of the puzzle.
The Dumois piece of the puzzle?
The Dumois. Wait, tell everyone what Dumois.
Dumois is just like a real life Gossip Girl where every sort of celebrity gossip or just their locations are submitted to this Instagram account, Dumois, and then they're posted. And I was just going through Dumois as regularly scheduled, and someone like above like
Baz Luhrmann
like spotted at this restaurant. It was like Fibula and Amy Poehler in West Village or wherever you were, and just a picture of them.
I gotta put it up on the screen because it's the way that people submit things. I'm sure like a couple people on here follow, but we also have a lot of international people that might not follow. It's Dumois, DEUXMOI on Instagram. It's really fascinating to follow.
Yeah, it really is.
You see a bunch of people that are in scenes are submitting like insight because they work in the industry and they hear things about, for example, like Julia Fox is starting an app. Like right. I heard it, or like Julia Fox and Little Huddy spotted out at dinner together. Like it's stuff like that. This was on their page. Fibula and Amy Poehler share a hug in West Village. And then Dumois commented, the only thing Dumois commented on that page was, "Is Amy a Fibula fan?" Question mark, like eyes. I was like, what?
It really is so cool. And you know, I hate when people are like try to like claim fame by association, like, oh, I know that person who's famous, so I'm famous. But I was sending that to everybody in my contacts, like, look at my co-host, like, look at my co-host.
It's just like, that's like my number one person that I like look up to, right, type thing. And then just being like spotted with them by Dumois.
I can't believe you didn't recognize her.
Oh, I'm sweating right now. My heart is racing.
Yeah.